You know what? I'm sick of all these videos not getting to the damn point and droning on and on before I even know what the video's about, leaving me with nothing better to do than cracking bad/stupid/stupid bad jokes.
Evolution is a religion.
Well, that's a nice change of pace. And what's weird is, so often when I state something about a video beforehand, it just so happens that that's exactly what the video does. Strange that, considering we all know I do these blind and definitely don't script them or anything. Wouldn't want to ruin the magic, you know. Anyway, what was that again, mate?
Evolution is a religion.
So okay, that's quite the statement, and I'm sure you will, or at least I hope you will, attempt to qualify it somehow. But my very first stumbling point is, well, even if that were true, that doesn't change evolution is a fact, and no matter how much you don't like it, that won't change. And seeing as somehow I know that this video has a religious bent, it's kind of important that a fact doesn't change regardless of how you feel about it or whatever a book you like says about it. Oh hey, I like the intro at least. It's pretty sick.
The fact my rationally questioning evolution video was demonetized demonstrates how so-called hate speech is merely mission creep to shut down anything that contradicts establishment narrative.
Look mate, not every YouTube demonetization is an active attempt to shut down them wrong thinkers, and if it was, I would agree with you. That's bad, because in my humble and very attractive opinion, the best disinfectant for bad ideas is sunlight. And bleach, but mostly sunlight. However, YouTube is also notorious for switching it off for things it agrees with and completely neutral topics. Because, and I hate to defend YouTube on this, considering I've lost not an inconsiderable amount of money based simply on the fact that its demonetization AI is just not up to snuff. I've been flagged multiple times during initial publishing of a video only to find it manually reviewed a couple of days later once it's past its main viewership period, and they all like, "This is fine mate." It's frustrating. However, that doesn't mean that they are actively targeting me, necessarily, for some great purge of ideas. I'm not saying it doesn't happen to some, but come on mate, me and you, we're small time. YouTube does not care either way about us unless we start trying to build the 7th Reich or whatever. Stop playing the victim and get to your actual argument.
Obviously, there's nothing hateful about questioning evolution, since it doesn't even offend minority groups. So why would this topic need to be restricted, especially if the arguments for evolution are so solid?
Look, if you want to go into this, then what is bad about your questioning evolution is that it's simply scientific misinformation. Not that it's hate speech, and if they are censoring you with that reason, then I would love for you to show that, because that would be completely absurd. And on the restriction thing as well, you're just wrong, dude. You aren't being restricted. Talk about it all you like, and from your own words, it sounds like a video demonetization for you is an unusual occurrence. So it's odd that the powers that be haven't done it to your whole channel, considering what a rebel you are. Ultimately, I'm against trying to hide ideas away, because they only fester. But I'm in no way convinced this is remotely what's happening to you, because it happens to everyone. And a one-off is not a trend. Grow up and stop using this "I'm being censored" stuff to make your point seem more valid than it actually is. And, excuse me, I forgot my next line. There it is. Penis joke.
Does it affect anything about practical science in the real world? No.
Are you talking about evolution itself? Because yes, there are lots of fields that require the likes of evolutionary biology to help us making things like medicines, etc. And if you mean, does the spreading of ill-informed nonsense and the demonizing of huge portions of the scientific community have the potential to harm sciences in general? Well, yes. At least it does without adequate counters. People are influenced by this type of crap all the time, and it's why idiots like me exist, to redress the balance and make terribad jokes. I'm a goddamn hero, I tells ya.
However, it does show that questioning anything at all about leftist dogma will increasingly be clamped down until we're no better than the Soviet Union.
My god, that take was so hot I'm getting sunburn. For starters, plenty of scientifically literate conservatives accept evolution. Funnily enough, facts are actually non-partisan.
This is by design, perpetuated by conditioning a high trust in experts, like the priest class of old.
It's not about trust in experts, it's about trust in scientific studies, and that little thing about proper science that can never really be gotten past. It works. If you make things over and over and over again that work, then chances are you got yourself a legitimate science, buddy. Only thing I can assume is you are one of them conspirators that thinks that if you don't understand it, it's got to be wrong, and the evil them is trying to hide the truth.
With this in mind, I stated in the formerly mentioned video that evolution is the linchpin for the religio-political world order we're moving towards.
Oh crap, you actually are one of them, aren't you? Alex Jones, eat your heart out. Look, here's the thing. Even if you were right, and there is actually a proper shadowy new world order satanic super cult, that wouldn't change that evolution is a fact, and disbelieving facts because someone you don't like believes them is about as asinine as you shouldn't drink water because serial killers drink water as well. Water and bad.
Which is what I'll be addressing here. I'm going to have to add a few caveats before going into more detail about this subject, because I don't want people to misconstrue what I say. I describe leftist ideology as a Hydra, where the vast majority of people assist the body of the beast by keeping one or more of its heads alive.
Alright, I'll slay your dragons for you. Environmentalism. Beaten. Feminism. Sandwich. Beaten. Nihilism. Beaten. LGBTQ+. Being gay is pretty gay. Beaten. New Age. Crystals are not magic. Beaten. Militant atheism. Atheism is a religion. I'm so smart. Beaten. Multiculturalism. All human cultures are equal. Bad. I'm going to be a Klingon. Beaten. Anti-racism. No, I'm not going to touch that one. You think I'm crazy?
I've used this metaphor several times because it perfectly demonstrates how the left operate.
Perfectly. See, it's this kind of stupid that made me move on to general stupidity instead of this pseudo-political stupid that I started off with. It was all the right are all crazy Bible-thumping gun nuts and the same kind of nonsense you're spouting all the time. It's dumb. I'm filthy lefty scum. Some of this is part of my values. Some of it I don't really care much about, and the other one is New Age and seriously freak New Age. But I know crazy righties who are gay, care about the environment, are black, and would have a punch-up with a priest in a car park. Yes, the further reaches of either side do tend to have higher proportion of the mentals. In fact, most of my content are about those peoples on either side, just not mentioning the political crap. Thankfully, because that stuff is 95% opinions, and I'm far more interested in things that are based in facts. Because for me, it's always been about the stupid. I don't really care about the politics, and you banging on and on about it is honestly just yawn. Where's the argument? I mean, this is dumb, but I want something funny, not just whatever this is.
As long as we're distracted by the many heads, we'll never attack the body of the beast. Even if we did, the heads would snap at us so much that it would be extremely difficult to strike a killing blow at the body.
And the body is evolution? I mean, I hope it is, because I came here to discuss evolution as a religion, and so far all you've given me is right-wing side of the SJW garbage. Now, some of you may be confused by this, so I borrowed a tweet from the one and only Logic, who just so happened to be having a chat about this subject while I was writing this. So it's perfect. Here's my flawless Canadian accent. SJW is the term for people who hold extreme, irrational opinions on social justice and or engage in harmful tactics, eh? I put that up because I know some of you associate that term with the left, but for me it was always about the bad ideas and the tactics, not what side of the imaginary fence you sit on. And this guy is the perfect example, and while I appreciate apparently opening with the thesis, can you, for God doesn't real sake, get to the point?
Bearing this in mind, I'm not accusing people of being leftists if they believe evolution is true.
Just that I think you am a big dum-dum and I am a smart guy with the brain.
But I do think people need to be mindful of the fact that all politically correct thought conveniently serves the leftist agenda.
That's not true at all. There are plenty of conservative folks who hate politically incorrect TV, music and games. They will often try and get such things banned, including hip-hop and the like. That flies in the face of your so-called leftist agenda, as it could be considered distinctly anti-black. Political correctness is usually just a tool that powerful political groups of all stripes use to shut things they don't like down.
It's therefore suspicious that questioning evolution should be restricted in the way I described.
My video was demonetized, therefore no one on earth can dispute evolution, even though I'm technically doing it right now. I have to ask, were you born this stupid, or did it take a few blows to the head first?
We're led to believe that creationists are really stupid people that only understand the Bible.
Oh, that's not fair. Nobody thinks they understand the Bible either.
And you'd think the rampant mockery of their views by atheists would be enough to shut them down if they're so foolish.
Wait, you think a foolish person would stop being an idiot just because someone makes fun of them? I mean, have you met any people? Like, at all? Because that doesn't happen. In fact, it's a known psychological phenomenon that if someone mocks an idea you hold close to your heart, you will likely become more invested in the idea and not less.
Obviously, evolution isn't such a solid theory when its proponents are scared of hearing both sides of the argument.
Evolution is not a theory, it's a fact. It's a thing that happens. I'm sure you've been told this, and I'm sure you have ignored it. Just as I'm sure your arguments against it are terrible, and that's why you haven't made any yet.
Especially when evolution doesn't stand up to true scrutiny, and snarky atheist comments have been used to prevent any real debate taking place.
See, now, if your arguments don't hold up to a bit of snark, I've got some bad news for you, buddy.
What's stranger is that we've had a sudden surge of flat earthers, now used to justify algorithms not recommending videos labelled as conspiracy theories, the left's favourite pejorative for anyone they disagree with.
No, everyone calls folks like you conspiracy theorists because you have these theories, right? That everything is a conspiracy? You see how that works?
What a convenient time for the resurgence of a blatantly false theory that helps bolster the narrative of internet censorship being necessary.
Or there are people out there just as dumb as you. But I do again completely disagree with trying to hide this crap. Why not promote the people actually arguing against it instead? You could do that? Give Seek a cheeky little boost? Make me a bit more internet famous there? Because, you know, if you don't, that's censorship.
This is the typical manufactured outrage we're all too familiar with nowadays, where movements are either allowed to flourish artificially or manufactured by gatekeepers until they serve a particular purpose. As a result, all forms of questioning are being lumped into the same restricted category as flat earthers.
I'll fix you there. All forms of anti-scientific mumbo-jumbo and nonsensical conspiracies
are being lumped into the same category as flat earthers.
See, that's better.
From anthropogenic climate change skepticism to occult secret societies.
Climate change is being debated pretty openly for the most part. It's only those who say that, again, it's the secret cabal of blah-de-blah who's-he-what's-its are promoting climate change that are called conspiracy theorists. Because guess what? They are. I haven't seen anyone who is a normal climate change skeptic using actual arguments being called a conspiracy theorist. It's all about your approach. Maybe stop being such a, a conspiracy theorist.
If you think this repression ends here,
LOL.
look at what happened in the Soviet Union, where questioning the state could result in being locked up in a mental asylum.
And that happened in the West when?
The line of reasoning we're encountering by the establishment is leading us right back to this very point.
Right, so it didn't happen. You are just throwing in a nice slippery slope fallacy, and I'm pretty sure that's a bingo. What do I win? Oh, do I get to stop making this video for now and play Devil May Cry? Hooray!